What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, you guys know why we're here. We're here for our initial reactions to the Lions. Bear with me here. 29-27 win over the Minnesota. Oh my gosh. I said win, y'all. Win over the Vikings. So let's get it started.
The city's been down, and it found a way to get up. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. We're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Welcome, everybody, to another video. Glad you guys are here. Oh, my goodness. This is crazy. This video, I don't even know how to do this video. Seriously, trying to, okay, this is what I can't even focus right now. Seriously, I'm super pumped from this game. I'm just excited. It's just as simple as it is. I'm just excited. The Lions got their first. There's a lot of firsts that happened today. I took notes. A lot of firsts. First off, first win of the season. That's outstanding. First win of 2021. Now, it just feels great to win. Like we've said it. We need a win as fans to just have that joy. You know how much more fun it is to watch other games in the NFL knowing your team won? You know how fun it is to see a halftime report and when they show the highlights, they show your team winning the game, especially like that. It just feels so good. We needed a win. So for us fans, for everybody that stuck around, for everybody that continued to tune in, shout out to you guys. This was special. I mean, there's been a lot of unfortunate stuff that's went on the past couple of weeks, and it's awful things. So the Lions are representing the Oxford community in this game. Just terrible news that we heard come out of that. Heartbreaking news, a week and a half ago or a week ago for Lions on the Prowl, and we discussed that. But it feels like one of those wins. It feels like a gift, it feels like that, just a win for those guys. And that's bigger than all of this. This game was huge for so many reasons, and the Lions discussed it, things like that. So, this is just a big one. Another first is that this was St. Brown's first touchdown catch. And of course, it was the first game winner, his first touchdown grab. It's crazy. I brought it up during the stream. When I was playing Madden yesterday, seriously, I was playing some Madden yesterday, Saturday, before the Michigan game, and St. Brown caught a touchdown, and it said St. Brown's first career touchdown. I was like, hold up, this dude hasn't caught a touchdown yet? And I guess it makes sense. I mean, coming in this one, we only had 10 touchdown passes, so, it does make sense. But this was St. Brown's first career touchdown. Of course, that's his first career touchdown. How can you get a better first career touchdown than that? And the Lions said, man, they've been practicing this play for a very long time. They just put St. Brown into that position, the guy that caught the ball a couple of weeks ago, and obviously he delivered like that. That's a huge catch. There's a lot of pressure on that. It's tough to just not think about what's going on, because really I feel like when you're in the action, you kind of zone it out. You're really not thinking. You're just kind of going. To have not have that on your mind, to not have your mind racing, to just lock in and make that play, knowing really how big that play was, because there was timeout before the play. There's so much on that, especially knowing that you're probably the primary target. The coverage that the Vikings were playing. I'm not going to get into all the specifics because I really don't know. I'm just excited. We'll get to that during the week. The point is it got open. 3 guys took Hawkinson, and he made a great catch.
I'm on the other hash, so it's trips to the left, and I went and sat on the other hash. 3 dudes came and collapsed me, and I was just like, all right. And so I look at Leaf. Leaf goes through a guy, and then I just see Saint catch the ball, and I'm like, let's ride.
It was Dan Campbell's first win. I feel like that gets kind of overlooked. This was Dan Campbell's first win as a Detroit Lions head coach. He didn't win in the preseason. We haven't won the regular season until now. Dan Campbell's first win. That is awesome. So I think that that might be the title of the video. It's just the first for a lot of things this season. It's Goff's first win as a lot. There's a lot of first. But Dan Campbell as the Lions head coach, Brad Holmes the GM, it's their first win as a staff. Oh my goodness. It's our first win in 364 days. So we didn't reach a full year. That's good. 364 days. Or unless it's a leap year, then it's 364. Or is it 366? I'm not completely. I think it's 364. But anyways, there was a lot of firsts today. And this win it just felt so good. It just felt so good. I uploaded a reaction to that final drive. Gosh, man. Those moments are crazy. And you know what? That's what's great about the Lions. Because, yeah, we may not be able to get some of these 30-point wins. But this win, I'll take any win, but that win, it hits different. Because as stressful as it is, you may let the team back into it, or maybe in a different situation, you're coming back. Whatever it may have been, you didn't play a perfect game, but you found a way at the end. And those kind of endings, not every team gets to have an ending like that, where you win like that on the final play, walk it off. That's nuts, especially for that to be your first one of the season. And that's something that we talked about for weeks. I mean, going after the last game, just our initial reaction was we Lions got to find a way to win. This staff needs to find a way. These players need to find a way to make one play, one right call, to do something to get themselves over the edge. Because as good as I thought this team could be, the progression that we're seeing, got to find a way to win. You have to prove to me that you can win a football game. That, you know, at the very end of it, you can find a way to make that play to get over the hump. And that, I mean, that's everybody involved. It's the players, it's the coaching staff, it's all of it involved. But someone's got to step up and find a way to win. I think Jared Goff said it perfectly. He said this: you should be able to make mistakes and find a way to overcome them. I mean, that's, to me, that hit home. It's facts. You're going to make mistakes. Some games more than others, and we did a really good job limiting some mistakes, but mistakes happen. You got to find a way to make that play to get over the top. And the Lions did that in this game. I mean, the Vikings, this is a huge game for the Vikings. Where they are in the playoff picture, this was a huge game for the Vikings. And the Lions found a way, all the momentum going the other way. Our offense was sputtering in the second half. Goff had a couple of rough possessions, couple of rough turnovers, and to bounce back and have that final drive, which we'll get to in a second, it was just outstanding. It was really outstanding. A couple of individuals I do want to point out real quick. First off, Charles Harris. Thought the guy was outstanding. I thought he was absolutely outstanding in this game. You know, okay, they put a left guard at left tackle, right? They put their guard at tackle, Udo. So we saw that. He didn't look super comfortable. He had some, you know, penalties there. But Charles Harris ate. You can't block him with a tight end. The guy's got to come back. I mean, it's just simple. We've been saying this for months. Charles has to come back as a Lion. I think PFF had him with a 13% pass rush win rate, which is crazy. The guy had the strip sack that Julian Okwara picked up. The only turnover, we actually lost the turnover battle. That was the one that we did for us early. We were getting big stops near midfield. Harris, to me, was just really good in this game. Specifically as a pass rusher from the initial eye test, he was getting after it. St. Brown, he was really good. Was he perfect? No. But he was good, and we know how dynamic he was. I mean, the jumping over a guy just made me think back to camp when he was jumping over players and some of those, you know, drills where you basically have like 10 yards. I don't even know what you would call it at this point. My mind's drawn a blank. But you got like 10 yards, and you got to make a guy miss. That's what it brought me back to. But 10 receptions for St. Brown. He stepped up big time. And, of course, like we said, that one catch. All right. I mean, Jamal Williams, I thought pretty good game. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys that I could point out individually, and we'll do that during the week. We'll do that on Monday. Offensively, one thing that we did, and offensively and defensively, is we did not beat ourselves with penalties in this game. It's the first time we can really say that in a while. Goff said it after the game. I don't think we had a false start. I don't think we did either. I don't remember an offensive holding. Like, we avoided those two things, which is nuts considering how last week went, where we literally destroyed a couple of our own drives by 3 straight penalties. Actually, the Vikings kind of became that team. They had 7 penalties, 66 yards. We had 3 for 11, and 2 of those were false starts. I mean, not false starts, delay of games. You still want to avoid those, but man, we did not beat ourselves with penalties. And I got to give credit where it's due. It's not the flashy position, but it's them dang O-linemen. The O-linemen got to get some love from first look. This O-line was fantastic, I thought. Big V was back. That probably helped a ton. They weren't perfect, but the Vikings getting Michael Pierce back, Delvin Tomlinson, of course, they're more run defenders. They're missing some of their top defensive ends, but you played such a good game in pass protection. Shout out to Goff. He trusted his O-line. They did a really good job for most of the game. On 45 dropbacks, you allowed 5 total pressure. 5. That's it. 5. That is outstanding, man. And you could just tell with some of the pass plays. We kind of saw this coming weeks ago against Pittsburgh, but it's slowly come along that the Lions are trusting their pass protection to push the ball down the field. Now, Dan Campbell's giving credit to Ben Johnson. Look, I don't know what Ben Johnson's doing, but I can tell you, we saw last week on film, the passing the Lions are doing, like some of these concepts, they look real good. And man, they're giving a lot of credit to Ben Johnson with how they've kind of got this passing attack going. But it is about guys being on the same page. It's about the timing of everything, trusting the O-line to protect, knowing where the reads are, knowing how you want to attack a coverage. And the Lions pass attack came alive in this game. And it was great to see because there wasn't the penalties that beat us. The O-line played extremely well. Goff sat there and trusted his O-line, which was outstanding. You know, and again, even on the last drive, he came back and trusted it, which is great after coming off a fumble and an interception. Trusted his O-line to stand in there. Dan Campbell pointed out the pass to Hockenson, that wasn't even where the play was designed to go. That was off of it. That was the second progression, was to get to Hockenson. You trust the play, you trust the players, you put it on them, and a couple of big grabs. Like, the offense scored 20 points in the first half. We haven't scored 20 points since week 1. We did that in the first half. Shout out to Riley Patterson, made every kick, 3 for 3. Outstanding. Offensively, there was a lot to like. I mean, we were getting shots down the field. Reynolds, of course, was the same impact player. I actually talked to Michael Banks. He said that they were throwing a lot of help coverage, sliding coverage his way to try to take him away deep. That's great. Again, the underneath passes, we thought were going to be a pretty big part of this game because of how much two-deep safety the Vikings do play, and it probably helped open up the run game. You know, the Lions took what they had, but at the same time, they were able to get some shots down the field. The O-line played outstanding. It's amazing. It's amazing the turnaround that we're seeing of this offensive line. You're getting Decker back. Obviously, Big V is healthy again. Just the difference that we see of this O-line versus weeks ago and how limited we felt we were offensively, there's just a clear-cut difference in this offense. And I think we saw it coming along. I mean, really last week was the first time that we got to see Dan Campbell, a healthy Jared Goff, not awful weather conditions, and that O-line play calling. And if it wasn't for some of those penalties, I think we could have easily scored 20-plus points. But then you roll into this game, same thing, and you go out and you score 20 in the first half. Get the Vikings defense credit too. I mean, it just seemed like they did a pretty darn good job of taking away some of those quick play action hitters. I mean, there was probably 3 or 4 times I counted where we went to that quick play action hitter. I can guarantee at least one time it was the same route concept that we saw them do early this season the first time we played them when we hit Hodge. You know, in that quick, like, what was it, skinny post. Quick play action turn, you try to fire it behind them linebackers. But one thing we know about the linebackers, missing Kendricks and missing Barr, which was probably a big factor as well, they are good at linebackers in coverage. They are very good in coverage. And that's one area where it seemed like they did a pretty good job of getting depth and taking those passes away, not selling out. The one time they did sell out, we finally hit St. Brown behind the linebackers, which was great. But, man, the amount of times I felt like we saw Goff go through multiple guys, stand in the pocket. And, yeah, sometimes it's like, man, maybe he waited too long to get to the running back. I'd way rather have that than what we had early in the season where it was like, oh, snap, a one read, now he's turning around, trying to scramble. And once Goff tries to take off and scramble, usually bad things happen. He's not that kind of quarterback. He's not athletic like that. It just, bad things happen. Well, that was not the case in this one. A lot of times we were getting through multiple guys downfield. You know, we had the 2-minute drive before half, which was big. Then, of course, the one at the end, like the 2-minute drill. Lions were on top of that. They played it smart before half. They didn't, like, you know, force it, make a bad mistake, have a turnover. They played it smart there. Now, the second half, we struggled. Second half was rough. We came out. We got stalled 2 3 and outs. I don't remember exactly how it happened. Could you argue we weren't aggressive enough? Maybe. I know Hawkinson said they changed some things schematically. We'll see it on the All-22. Either way, you came out, you got stopped in the second half. Then you had, I mean, your second half drives went like this. You had 2 punts, 3 and outs. Then you got a field goal, which put you up back by 8. Then he came back with an interception where Goff hung on Hawkinson. Cornerback dropped off because he read his eyes and got the interception. He said he should have hit St. Brown. And then you come back with a fumble on 4th and 1, which that play call, interesting. The Lions went to a play action call. I didn't have an issue actually with going for it. I was very fine with going for it. I was like, hey, I'd go for it. I wanted to run it. They went for the play action. You know, it didn't work. Goff made the first guy miss. They took away really the flat route, which is usually the go-to. You roll out, you hit the flat route, he gets a yard. They took that away. So great job by the Vikings there. And then you get the fumble on top of that where the Vikings take over. You come out on that final drive, and it's like it never happened. We were like a goldfish, as Ted Lasso would say. It's like it never happened. You went out and you played a great drive.
Yeah, well, the first one, corner squeezed down, made a play. Would have loved to throw it to Saint there. I believe he was open. One I'd like to have back. And then the last one, that fourth down, trying to extend the play, trying to make something happen. Not ideal on either of them, but like I mentioned, you know, you should be able to make mistakes and win games, and that's for me, our defense, our kicker, everyone. Like, that's the sign of a good team. A team that's learned how to win is a team that can make a mistake, a crucial mistake, throwing that interception, and still find a way to win.
You had 1:40, no timeouts. And the Vikings played a lot of soft coverage, and you just took what they gave you. You just checked it down. And you worked your way down the field on checkdowns. We didn't have a big pass that put us in field goal range. We literally, or into the end zone, we literally checked it down all the way down the field. We took what the defense gave us. Our players played smart. We spiked it. No penalties except for the delay of game. Our guys got out of bounds. Godwin was an outstanding play where he made a guy miss and got all the way around, got a couple extra yards, got out of bounds, saved some clock. St. Brown got out of bounds. And then, of course, on the final play, as we talked about, that was huge. I mean, we just needed that as a fan base. Jared Goff needed that. I mean, Campbell, we all needed it because we've been here so many times to finally just step over and be like, hey, once you do it once, you know that you can do it. And it makes it so much easier because you have that in your back pocket. I've done it. I don't even have to think twice about it. I know we can do this. Now, not every time is going to be the same, but you just know. And a lot of games in the NFL are played close. They will be played close. Years going forward, for the rest of the season, you're going to get a lot of tight games. You're probably going to. It's just how the NFL works out most of the time. So in that case, you got to find a way to get over the hump. Give credit to St. Brown, though, because not only did St. Brown have 10 receptions, he saved the day. They brought that pressure off the backside, which Goff saw it, steps up and he throws it high, kind of like throwing it away. But it was almost picked off in the end zone. That would have just wrapped the game. St. Brown made a great play. And instead of just sitting there and be like, okay, I'm shorter, I'm just going to not do anything, he attacked the defensive player, played defense, and knocked the ball out of his hands, basically. That is how you protect your quarterback. That happens, man. Sometimes you get an overthrow. You got to stay with the play. That was something that we got on Josh Reynolds for doing, is just running and not really doing anything on the ball. Make a play. St. Brown had the heads-up mindset. I'm going to go hit this defender to make sure that he doesn't catch this football. And that's exactly what happened, and it kept us alive. And, of course, he was rewarded the touchdown, as he should have been, for making that clutch play. That probably won't get talked about, but it was really big from St. Brown to keep us in it with that. Defensively, I thought the first half was really good. I mean, we were great in the red zone. Look, this Vikings team can move the football. I mean, if you look, Kirk Cousins has got a lot of passing yards. They can run the football. Even though it's just Alexander Madison, they can run the football. He's had a huge game against us week 5. Pretty nice game again, this one. They can score. But in the first half, we were incredible at getting stops in the red zone. We shut them down in the red zone. We held them to 2 field goals. We got multiple stops around the 50-yard line where we just kind of put them in that range where do you go for it, do you not go for it? We got that Julian Okwara sack. We got a strip sack. I mean, we were really good, and I think one of those may have been in the second half. We were just really good around that part of the field. Now, I think we started to bend in the second half. We gave up 3 touchdowns. We gave up a lot of points in the second half because they had 6 in the first half. They ended up having 27, so they scored 21 points second half, right? Is that right? Either way, they did well in the second half. Like, they scored. We gave up a couple touchdowns in the end zone. The Will Harris one, on the 3rd and goal, we sell for the run, and he just gets beat by Jefferson. Jefferson went off. Jefferson absolutely went off. I mean, he was even better than the first time we played him. Where I will give them credit is that they didn't allow any 2-point conversion. That's huge too. Every time Vikings went for 2, stuffed it. And that's huge because if you really get the final score, yeah, the last one, it would have only been 6, so we still could have won. But not even just that. The ones earlier, like the final score would have played out so much different if they pick up those 2s. You just kept sticking with it. You stopped the first 2-point conversion, which would have made a field goal game, so it's 15-20. You come back and then you get another stop in the 2-point conversion. You were shutting down the 2-point play, which was huge. So that was clutch. Especially in the first half, they were really good. That was clutch. But then our offense was there to have our backs, and that's how it has to go sometimes. I think we have some coverage problems, especially in this game. I don't know, film-wise. I don't know. It looked like second half we were having some problems in coverage. It looked like it opened up some run plays. I can't tell you all the specifics because I haven't watched it back that during the week. We'll save that for then. But I do know this, man. It's about finding a way to finish. And I'm so excited to see this offense going forward because, again, healthy O-line. It was great. Just great. Was it perfect? Nah. You could argue it kind of got messed up on the, obviously the fumble, which was just that route wasn't there, trying to extend the play, and then the pick. But at the same, they were really good. Like, they were really good. 87 PFF grade they gave him pass blocking. That is outstanding. And Sewell was great again. Bro, the bright future on his O-line, and we don't even have all their guys here. Frank's not even here, man. Evan Brown, clutch play to pick up a fumble. You remember that? We fumbled and Evan Brown dove on it. Jamal fumbles. If he doesn't dive on that, Vikings take over. I don't remember how it resulted. Probably a punt. But that is huge, man. Jacobs got back in. We saw a little bit of iffy. I don't remember seeing him do much defensively, but he got back in the game, so good thing he's healthy. There's just a lot of good. And I'm excited to see this offense go forward with this O-line, with Josh Reynolds, who Goff has tons of trust in. He's taking attention of the defense because now you're seeing it week by week. It's like we have to. St. Brown's a stud. We know that. But just everything, you're starting to see a flow that I thought we'd see on paper to begin the season because I looked at our O-line and said, man, top O-line. I know Goff can play with the top O-line. We got some weapons, and we all know what happened, the injuries, the play calling. We all know what went down. But the point is we're getting pieces back. And you want to see this thing take the next step to just see what they can be. Game changer. You need someone to stay poised. Call him whatever you want. Game manager, whatever you want to call him. You got to stay poised and just locked in. Locked in. Whatever your play style is, I don't care if you're a scrambler. You got to stay locked in there. And he was locked in at the end of the game and gave us a chance. He delivered a strike. It may sound basic. Well, it's an easy pass. Makes that all the time. But in that moment, that ball, if it's off by a yard, if he throws it high, defender gets on it, broken up, game over, you're out of time. Bam. Timing was beautiful. 3 keys coming into the game. Interior offensive line versus interior defensive line. I'd argue we won that battle. O-line won the battle. I'll say that. Penalties. 3 penalties and 7 penalties. 1 won the battle. Now, we didn't cover Justin Jefferson very well, but 2 of the 3 keys, we knocked out of the park. And that's the battle I talked about. Interior O-line versus interior D-line. I would say we won that battle. I know our O-line beat their D-line. So I guess, simplest terms, we won that battle. It seemed we won that battle for this case, especially in pass pro. It's like, man, you got it. You got to show us that you can do it, and they showed us. And now that you've done it once, you might just have to go do it again. You might just have to. So just enjoy the night, man. I got nothing else for you. I don't know all the exact what happened here on this play and that play. I didn't watch it back or anything. Just enjoy it. We'll be back during the week to break it all down. But this was... Yes, sir! This is our first win. If you guys want to see our live reaction, I did upload a video of that little hype video. Man, we won a game, dog. You see that? Come on, man. Let's go. That felt so good. Yes. Okay, sorry. Let me know your thoughts, guys, below. Thank you for watching. We'll be back Monday. And I'm out.